Hey guys, it's Mickey from Mickey the Bookworm. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to announce my August TBR and a little bit of something I have prepared for you. It is going to be Mood Readathon and it's taking place from August 10th through the 16th. So I'm going to give you my TBR that isn't part of the readathon, and then I'm gonna go ahead and give you the prompts for the readathon along with the books that I intend to read following the prompts. And all of the information as far as the readathon Instagram, Twitter, all of that stuff that you want to get involved in is going to be linked down below. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and dive into the first part, which is my TBR that isn't gonna be part of the readathon. So first of all, this is kind of like a just in case, because as I'm filming this, we're headed toward the end of July, and I'm just not quite sure that these books are going to actually make it into my July wrap-up because we're running short on time, but I've been trying, as you know, to read through the entire original Hunger Games trilogy before diving into Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Right now I am in the middle of Catching Fire, loving it, but I'm just not sure I'm going to get to Mockingjay this month, and so if I don't, I'm gonna push it over into August and just keep on going. And then I'm gonna go ahead and dive into the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I've had this ever since it came out. I pre-ordered it and I've just been working ever since then to try to get to it. So hopefully August is gonna be the month. The other book on the TBR for August is Hidden Valley Road by Robert Kolker, I think. And the biggest reason that this is in my TBR for August is because I checked it out at the library and it's due back on August 8th. So we're running with a limited window here, but that is really all outside of the readathon that I have planned. Now before I dive into the readathon TBR, I kind of want to let you guys know my mentality behind doing this. I was getting kind of bogged down in my June and July TBRs and wrap-ups and really feeling like I would make these TBR videos and then I would feel obligated to read those books that month and then do the wrap-up on those books. And I found that I was having a little bit more of a mood reader vibe, and I would get bogged down reading the books that were on my TBR because I wasn't in the mood to read them halfway through the month as I was at the beginning of the month when I made the TBR. And so I thought, just for like mental health and keeping my joy of reading, I needed a month where I would mood read. And then I thought, wow, I bet a bunch of other people would really like that too. So the Mood Readathon was born, and I did come up with prompts, but I just want to say that the prompts are just suggestions. Read whatever you're in the mood for. It doesn't matter if you want to do 7 books in 7 days or double, triple up the prompts, you want to narrow it down and only have 2 to 3 books on your TBR for the week. It's all fine, and you don't have to follow the prompts. The prompts are really just suggestions because the whole point of this is to be chill and to enjoy reading and not to try to hold yourself to a TBR list. I did make one. I will say it is subject to change though, so I'm gonna launch into that now as I reveal the prompts. So the first prompt is going to be a guilty pleasure book. So this could be like whatever constitutes guilty pleasure to you, something that you enjoy, but maybe it's not cool or like socially acceptable or whatever. Maybe you're super into Harlequin romance and no one knows about it, or maybe you still love children's books, or you're really into manga, or you really like corny detective stories. I don't know. I'm not shaming any of that. We all have stuff on our TBRs and books that we're interested in that other people are gonna think are not cool. And that's what's the point of this prompt, is just to read something that you like because you like it, and that's all. So I picked The Light We Lost by Jill Santopolo, and this is supposed to be about this couple that meets in college and then life separates them, and I think they keep kind of like running into each other, and it's like a really long journey finding their way back to each other or something. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this as my guilty pleasure book because it falls into the romance category, and I don't really like to admit that sometimes I want to read romance. I don't know why. It just is for me. Okay, the next prompt is going to be a book that's been on your TBR forever, and I'm gonna go with Keep It Shut by Karen Amen. I just found this in a used bookstore about a week or two ago, and I've had it on my TBR for probably like 2 years and just found it, so I'm gonna go ahead and tuck this in for a book that's been on my TBR forever. It actually may be one of the longest running books on my TBR. Okay. The next prompt is going to be the book on your TBR that you were the most excited about, and that's going to be another new one for me, The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, which my sister got me for my birthday, and I've just so been looking forward to this. It's about a family that kind of like moves to the middle of nowhere in Alaska to like escape from everything, I guess, and I've heard Kristen Hanna is a really good author. I haven't read anything of hers yet, but I'm really looking forward to diving into this one, and I really think I'm gonna like it. So that is, again, for prompt number 3, the book on your TBR that you are most excited about. Prompt number 4 is a book that you bought for the cover, because let's be honest, we all do that. For me, I'm going with The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel. This is supposed to be kind of like a mystery thriller, and this girl meets this wealthy guy in a hotel bar, and they get married, and then he's involved in some kind of like fraud or Ponzi scheme or something, and she disappears on a boat. But I love this cover. It reminds me of Maine like so much. I don't know, well, I do know why. It's like the colors, like I've actually seen the sky look like that, and like there's islands on the coast near where I live that look like this, and I've just been in love with this cover ever since I saw that this book was coming out, and so I had to pick it up, even though like I'm interested in the story, but the cover was like the primary reason that made me even look at it. So that is the book I bought for the cover. Prompt number 5 is a book that you'd save in a fire. So I am going to go ahead and reread The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This has been one of my favorite books ever since I was required to read it in high school. And I'm going through a phase right now where I'm trying to get really nice editions of any books that I want to keep on my shelves permanently, because I don't actually keep a lot of books. I resell or donate them or give them away to people. I don't keep a ton of books unless they're really, really good and I really, really want them on my shelves forever. So I special ordered this copy of The Great Gatsby from a bookstore in England because they were the only ones that had a cover that I really loved. I know that the normal cover that you see with The Great Gatsby is the original cover from when the book was published in the 1920s. So unpopular opinion, I don't like that cover. I understand the historical significance and I get the art style of it, but I just need, for Gatsby, I need it to look like this. So I special ordered this book from England. And I'm sorry if you can hear that. Apparently someone in the neighborhood's car alarm goes off. Hello, city living. All right, hopefully you're not too annoyed by that. I'm just gonna keep going. So prompt number 6 is a book from your favorite genre. And my favorite genre happens to be historical fiction. Again, probably not that cool with a lot of people, but I adore historical fiction. So I'm gonna go with Z, a novel of Zelda Fitzgerald by Therese Ann Fowler. And this is actually going to go along with The Great Gatsby really well because Zelda Fitzgerald was married to F. Scott Fitzgerald, and she was a really fabulous figure who really embodied the spirit of the 1920s. She was like the poster child for the flapper. So I'm really looking forward to reading this book. It's taken from her diaries and different accounts about her, but it's, I think, a slightly fictionalized story. So I'm looking forward to getting into this. And then the 7th and final prompt is to read a book by your favorite author, and my favorite author happens to be Frederick Bachman, and so I am going to read Fairtown. And I'm really looking forward to this one. I know it's about a really small town and hockey, and I think maybe there's a rivalry, or they're having to learn about teamwork, or I don't really know. I just know I like Frederick Bachman, and I'm really looking forward to this one. And I think it'll be nice. It's 90 degrees today, which is really hot for Maine, and I think it will be nice to dive into a book that has a subject that is, cold. Maybe if I think cool, I'll be okay. So that is my TBR for August. Anything else that I read in August, if I get to anything else, will be purely based on the mood that strikes me. And I'm not even holding myself totally to this TBR for Mood Readathon because, like I said, I started this whole thing because I thought mood reading was really in order. And the prompts are just there, meant to help you find books that will spark joy as you look for what you're going to be reading in August. I hope that you'll participate. I hope that you'll follow on Instagram and Twitter, and I hope that you will enjoy. There will be Instagram challenges going up as well, and there will be prizes, giveaways attached to each Instagram challenge that will be announced on the day of the Instagram challenge. So be looking for those, and I'll be talking to you guys soon as we get into the readathon. I really, really hope you'll join me. Let me know below what you're planning to do, and if you're planning to join me, and what books you want to read in August. I'll see you guys soon.